Next speaker is Saurabh Srivastav. Saurabh is Head of Health and Safety Compliance for South Asia, China, and Asian countries, also business partnering the Health BU. He has 20 years of experience in designing, deploying, and monitoring safety, occupational health, environment, sustainability, disaster management functions in industries like FMCG, power generation, transmission, distribution, coal mines, renewable power, manufacturing, and infrastructure. He has been awarded as Safety Professional of the Year 2015 from Institution of Engineers India during 30th Engineering Congress. His motto is to make work environment safe so that employee go home healthy. His topic is dynamic risk assessment, significance and identification.
Thanks everyone for giving me the opportunity for this. And anytime if you feel that it's not interesting, just raise your hand. I'll stop then and there itself. So I come from an organization called Reckitt. Probably Reckitt is not that no name, but yes, their products like Dettol and Lysol and everything. So this is a 200 years old company, organization with 40,000 employees across the globe. And they are talented pool which we use, and our thought is to provide a healthier and a cleaner world for everybody. Before I start this process and this presentation, my heart and my thoughts goes with the 4 people who died today morning in one of an process safety, I'll say. Catastrophe, the accident happened in Gujarat Fluorochemicals Limited, exactly the same time when we started talking on the safety here on this platform. 14 people is critically injured. 4 people died. We have done so much since morning, and sorry, I was not available on this forum here. I was talking and watching this whole program on my YouTube today while I was not on my meetings. So that was what we have been talking. And this is the exact first question to you. When did the safety come into the existence? And I want an answer from you all. I know you have got fantastic information today, knowledge, data, everything was there. And probably I'll not be having that data and the knowledge-heavy presentation here. I'll be more thought-provoking to you. So what should I say? Is it a 50 to 100 years or 100 to 150 years old when the safety came into the existence? I need an answer. Pardon? Probably even before these periods, since caveman. Because that time the hazard was enemies and the animals. Okay? The risk was getting killed. And they adopted the mitigation called saving themselves, devising some arms, koi aujar, patthar se, haddi se banaya. And that was the thing. And the hazard and risk is not new to us. Certainly it's not new to us. It's a matter of existence. If those 4 people who died today, I don't know, it's a 4 or 5 or 6 now. Really, sorry, I know the last figure when I left my home. It was a 4. If those 4 people knew what was the hazard and risk, this would certainly have been in this word here. We should not be saying sorry to them. I really think what is a risk and risk assessment? I'm not going through that, but I really like this one picture very much, which a person is standing on a bank of a river or a sea, and the risk is probably he's seeing shark. I don't know who is the risk. Is the shark is the risk or the person is the risk to the shark? I don't know. Because once the shark is in the water and you in the tailor are with a weapon, probably you are becoming a risk to that. And probably the shark feels the hazard from you. It's more like who has more power. Okay? So this is the risk. Who has more power? Is the machine or you? Okay? And the risk assessment is identifying who has that power. See, let's accept why we should be so seriously adopting health and safety. I know like people have done so much thing on that, but why we should be? I'm not going and talking on the legal and the economic. Everybody knows it. And 90% time we are focusing on legal, and I was listening, means not on this forum itself, many other forums, people say it's a cost effective, it's a statutory compliance, do that, otherwise aap jail ke andar hoge, this all, not many things. I'm not going and talking. How many times you have talked on the moral? What is a moral duty? Is it not moral duty to bring a person to the office, send him back? So no one comes to work with an intention that I want to get hurt today. And either seeing their friends or colleagues getting hurt. No, sorry, nobody. Probably in last 20 years, I have not seen anybody. I've done enormous numbers of the fatality incident investigation. Nobody has ever said. So what is a dynamic risk and dynamic risk assessment? One question, what is a dynamic? The word is dynamic. I heard my colleague here saying on the cybersecurity and many other things. It's all dynamic. Word is dynamic. We want dynamic things. We need a smartphone. We need everything smart. And that is called dynamic. And when it comes to the organization, we want a dynamic organization. And when we go to the teams and colleagues, we want dynamic team. We need dynamic person in my team. But when it comes to safety, let's go to back what it was there 20 years back. Sub capex nahi hai. We don't have any budget this year, so you have to stay this. But we are modernizing. But we are not modernizing that. So the dynamic risk is a risk brought on a sudden unpredictable changes in the system. It could be a 1 day change, 1 week change, 1 month change, or 1 year change. It's a sudden change. The person who was working for the 19 years, 20 years, 25 years on the system, and suddenly you are changing it, what risk you are going to create it? Usko train kar do, usko on-job training de do. That is what was the one word which is generally is said. And when it comes, these change can bring about a sudden personal and business loss. Suddenly, and what is the dynamic risk assessment? Dynamic risk assessment is continuous assessment of a risk in the changing circumstances. Where the dynamic risk is required, where the things are unpredictable, are constantly changing. The word is constantly changing, so we have to be very much open for the dynamic risk assessment every moment. Where the new hazards may get introduced during the task. And I believe those who come from the project background, I come from a project background, very early stage, I was in a project. Means 80% of the project is designed and 20% is not designed. It's more or less, it is designed on the shop floor. So that is what is. And accident doesn't happen on those 80% which has been designed, to be very, very honest, and everybody know that. The incident happened on those 20% which was not identified, which was not even predicted. So where all the hazards that will be present are not known until the job has started. We started the job, started laying a cable or doing a welding in a room, and suddenly something come between. We never knew it. And what to do? It is left on all the knowledge and acumen of the person who is doing that. If he knows, probably he will be meeting his family back in the evening. If not, sorry. Where the level of the risk may not be known ahead of time. So that is. So the mantra, one mantra which is for the dynamic risk assessment is continuously observing. But my dear friends, please highlight and see I want your focus on the 3 pink words that is called assessing and analyzing an environment to identify hazard and remove risk while completing the task. Assessing, analyzing, and while, that is a continuous, is something which we are missing. And I don't think, honestly, I'm telling you, I'm also a part of that breed of the people who signed the work permit, who were not standing at the moment of those time when the work started. We prepared the method statement, we prepared and we signed the permits, but what about that 8 hours or 10 hours or 20 hours when the work will be in progress? Because risk is not going to same. When you finished your 40% of the work, suddenly something happened. You were working something and suddenly a person has to walk, or the crane hanger got stuck somewhere. A person has to go and get it released. Is that was in your MOS? Was that in your method statement? No. Whatever the person is going to do at the 10-meter height, he may fail, he may fall, he may die. So that is the risk. So tips for the dynamic risk assessment is requires quick decisions about safety. Somebody says, don't take a quick decision on safety. Sorry, I'm not of that school. I'm not a student of that school where we say The safety has to be the quickest. The smartest person should be in your organization should be your safety officers. The safety officer should know the best of best engineers. They should be best of best knowledge people. Safety department should not be just left as a department for the compliance. No, sorry. They should be the most smartest and most dynamic person of your organization. They should know the business. They don't replace the risk assessment. And sorry, thanks for this. Sorry, I may be a little fast. They don't replace, and this dynamic risk assessment doesn't replace the risk assessment. Sorry, don't go tomorrow that Saurabh said, replace the risk assessment. Sorry, risk assessment will be there. Method statements will be there. But keep that dynamic risk assessment. Open your thoughts, open your ears, open your eyes. And flexible, continuous, and changing environment. That is something which you have to think of.
2
And
minutes.
who should?
2 minutes, sir.
Probably 1.5.
You will get time. Don't worry. 2 minutes.
Okay. Who should use a dynamic risk assessment? A lone worker. I know you know about who are the lone workers. A team leader of a working crew and a working in a changing environment. These are three broad areas who should be doing the risk assessment. What is the benefit of dynamic risk assessment? It enables workers to confidently assess their working environment. It allows workers to be more confident in doing their day-to-day task. And it gives workers to the confidence to proactively assessing any. Why I'm using this three words continuously, that is confidently, I'm going to explain you in the next slide, but probably you will all agree with me, only the confident worker is the best worker. I'm not talking about the overconfident skills. But confident worker knows his job, he knows his passion, he knows what he is going to do it. So that is the dynamic risk assessment. And now comes, what is the dynamic risk assessment and what is the common sense, the difference between, and how to develop that skill. So my dear friends, there's no difference between the dynamic risk assessment and a common sense. But common sense is not that common in everybody. Okay? So we have to be trained for the instinct and should be aware about the surrounding of the environment. It cannot be just, I'm not getting trained. No, sorry. If you have to be a firefighter, if you have to be a pilot has got a dynamic risk assessment. They know that if the person has to, my heart again goes with we lost a wing commander today, group captain today. He saved the entire Bangalore area when he was flying the Tejas. He knew at the last moment he not ejected, but he took his plane away from the the city area where he crashed it, safely crashed it. So this is called a dynamic risk assessment. The process says you have to eject, but he did not. He kept it going out of the boundary area. So, with the last slide, sir, why I am saying all this? I want to end with the ILO's statement. If you Google it, everybody will find it out. ILO says that there is 2.3 million women and men around the world die due to work-related accident or diseases every year. That is 6,000 deaths every single day. So workers need to be aware of how to examine their situation, not just for their own safety, but also for the safety of the people around them. Because 6,000 people dying per day, 250 people dying every hour, 4% dying per minute, and by the time I finished in 15 minutes or 8 minutes, whatever time I got, 10 minutes, 60 people. Think of in a situation since morning how many people we have lost. So, my dear friends, I cannot recommend you, I can only suggest you with a humble gesture that there is nothing more important than safety. Nothing. Thank you.
With this, 2 sessions come to a close, and I'll just like to end with a very important aspect of asset integrity. you must have noticed that people talk about right from design stage, the asset integrity plays a key role. And right to the end, while we plan for decommissioning and we carry out the decommissioning of the asset. Uh, the purpose of each and every aspect, you carry out a risk, you carry out QRA, but if you don't implement those recommendations, you are going to be where you are. So, very important aspect of your asset integrity management is going to be how you as asset integrity managers or HSE managers are able to convince and put your point across that this is what is required. You carry out risk-based inspections, but you don't take action on them, then what is going to happen? You'll have to live with what it is. And wait for a major hazard to happen and then take action. So, asset integrity management at the end, as Gitali ended with, you need a very robust program, but an implementable program. That's the key. So, thank you so much to all the speakers. You have done great justice to the last session.